T minus 2 minutes. T minus 1 minute and 50 seconds. T minus 1 minute and 40 seconds. T minus 1 minute and 30 seconds. T minus 1 minute and 20 seconds. T minus 1 minute and 10 seconds. T minus 1 minute. T minus 50 seconds. T minus 40 seconds. T minus 30 seconds. T minus 20 seconds. Ten, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
Yo, what is poppin'? Before the video starts, I just want to let you all know that I give readings, just like the ones that you see every Monday on my channel. I give on point Orisha Tarot card readings for singles and also for couples. I also do natal chart consultations. My Everything is Everything reading is by far my bestseller. If you want to check out any of these services, please visit my website at www.bandclaptv.com. So again, if you want to check these things out, go to my website, www.bandclaptv.com. All right, on with the video. All right. We are back. Yeah, my computer went out again. My computer went out again. But we are back. We are back. I gotta get this out. Can't stop, won't stop. We back. We are back. Just gotta let y'all know that we're back. Okay, so I'm gonna start over, and I'm glad that this happened at the very beginning of the live stream, so that way it's not gonna be nothing for me to start this over. Showstopper, what's poppin', Showstopper? What's good with you? It's been a while, Showstopper. So yeah, so I want to ask y'all again, these past couple weeks, how has y'all mental health, these last couple weeks of Gemini, how has y'all mental health been going? How have y'all been doing? And while y'all are saying that in the chat, I'm gonna give y'all a little insight into what's been going on with me on my side, because I'm a Gemini. So I'm observing, like I said, at my job, a lot of nervous breakdowns. I even had a nervous breakdown a couple days ago. You know, um, it wasn't like a nervous breakdown to where I did anything destructive to myself or anything like that. But a lot of us have been having these um, things, these issues that's been going on with us because of how things have changed so much. Um, but the pay is still the same. Things are getting more expensive. Interest rates are getting higher. I got a really good friend of mine who's into real estate and into wholesaling and stuff like that. And he's been telling me about how slow it's been because, people can barely afford rent. People can barely afford rent. Rent is getting too outrageous, So what make you think, people are going to be able to afford everything that it takes to buy a home? Oh yeah, I appreciate that. Yep, my birthday was on the 22nd. My father, his birthday was on June the 3rd. And also shout out to IFE, Ty Gemini, because his birthday is today. He's literally the cusp. I'm the cusp of Gemini and Taurus. He's the cusp of Gemini and Cancer. It's been a long time. Shouldn't have left you without a dope beat to step to. Definitely. I'm gonna play my newest mix after this. If you checked out the live stream that I did, if you checked out the last video that I did, I posted it there. But yeah. So, on my job, I got this lady that I work with, real nice, real sweet lady. She's into show production just like I am, doing that. And she was living out of her car, which is something that I sympathize with because that's something that I had to do for a couple years, so I definitely understand that part. So she ended up getting this job. One of my coworkers had an extra room for rent, so she was able to do that. Then she ended up getting her a 9-to-5. I'm not gonna say what type of 9-to-5, but she ended up getting another 9-to-5 on top of the gig that I'm on. So I thought she had it made. I thought things were going good, but a few days ago when I went to work, she had a cusp cousins. Yeah, but yeah, so she ended up having a nervous breakdown at work. Let me see, let her know that I'm live. So yeah, so she ended up having a nervous breakdown at work because the landlord, since they're renting, in Florida, there's this thing to where the landlord can raise the rent anytime they want to. So the rent went up, to a level to where she's barely going to be able to afford it, And then plus, since these landlords know that you're desperate, that's why you're in that situation anyway, because they feel like you're desperate. So since they know that, these landlords like to do petty stuff. And then if you don't like it, then you can get out, because you don't own that house, you don't own that apartment or whatever. So that on top of, then with some of us, this is what's going on with me. That's why I'm sniffing and coughing and sneezing now. Because around this time of month, my energy isn't all the way there because I have issues when it comes to my breathing, issues when it comes to pollen and my sinuses and migraines, all those different things. So all of that on top of the issues that's just plaguing us being in this world, is the result of a lot of people having nervous breakdowns. You know, even in the media. In the media, you're seeing these different celebrities and these different deaths and different things going on because people are crashing out. You know, see, it's one thing when you're going through this as a normal person, and then it's another thing going through this, and now you're under the influence of these drugs. You're under the influence of alcohol and, you know, these weird drugs that they got out now and stuff like that. And you know, people are, you know, they just can't take it no more. You know, people are crashing out at an alarming rate. You know, it's real sad to see. Let me see what you're saying, Showstopper. Yeah, it's getting real in the field here. Let me see what you're saying. It's getting real in the field out here. The unhoused population has tripled since January. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Mental health and spiritual war at an all-time high. I've been going through the grieving process, so not really on this plane at this time. So yeah, that's another thing. You know, a lot of that has been going on. Transitions, different types of transitions that has been going on as well during this time. You know, a lot of different things. You know, a lot of different things that has been, you know, plaguing at our mental health. So, you know, these past few live streams, Nebraska still here. Hey, that's what's up. That's what's up, Green. You know, escapism. Yeah, definitely. That's something else. That's something else that's been going on at an all-time high. You know, so it's something. It's this analogy that I've been saying for the past few streams. And I feel like, you know, the same thing is going on. You know, this is, like I said, this is the last day of Gemini, but this is also the first day of Cancer. You know, shout out to IFE. You know, his birthday is today. You know, yesterday was Juneteenth. And if it wasn't for Kendrick doing what he did, Juneteenth would have been a bust for me, at least for me, and a lot of the black people around me. You know, because think about what Juneteenth represents, and then think about how you should have felt when the powers that be didn't want to give those Tulsa survivors reparations, when they're the ones that deserve it the most, because they was actually there. You know, they was actually in that situation in that time. So you mean to tell me, you know, people out here celebrating Juneteenth, and you see how Juneteenth has now been hijacked. You know, we've been against it so much that now it's been hijacked. So you got Africans talking about Juneteenth, African food, Haitian people, you know, all these different races talking about Juneteenth, and the race that a lot of people would say that it was meant for. You know, we're still going through slavery. You know, we're still going through slavery. We're still going through the same thing. You know, so what does this title mean? The new game has started. You know, the new game has started. So now it's time for you to choose your character. You know, the line has been drawn in the sand, and that's what I want to talk about. That's what I want to do my live readings about. You know, because in this Cancer season, I want to be able to, before the mood sets in, because I'm already seeing it. You know, for y'all people that have jobs, I have a job as well. A lot of mercy is going to have to be shown with your coworkers right now. You know, because not everybody, even if you see somebody at work, and I was thinking about this today, even when you see somebody at work and it seems like they got a smile on their face and all that, you know, that don't mean that they're happy to come to work. You know, a lot of times that smile that you see, you know, that is a mechanism that they have painted on. You know, that is a smile that they got painted on, and you know, that's what they have to do so that, you know, they can keep that job, because things are so crazy back at home that, you know, they would be mentally devastated. They would be devastated if something happened to where they lost their job. Another thing I'm seeing, people getting fired. People are getting fired left and right from their jobs. People are getting laid off, and in record numbers. People are getting laid off. People are getting fired. And this is from, you know, high places. You know, that's the reason why a lot of the movies are ass. A lot of the movies are ass now, because you know, these movie studios and these companies, they're trying to replace as much of the human aspect with AI as they can. So the reason why these movies seem soulless, because, you know, it is. AI probably wrote the script. AI wrote the script. You know, AI had a lot to do with the voice acting. You know, AI has a lot to do with the characters and how they're created and how they look and all that type of stuff. And that's why things seem so soulless. And like I was saying before, you know, in the stream that I had before, it really seems like on the PC, when I say PC, in this analogy, I'm talking about politically correct. So it seems like everything on the politically correct, by the book, you know, all of that, it seems like that side of things is, you know, these powers that be that are no longer in control, but they're trying to keep up a illusion of control, to keep the civilians at bay, to keep you distracted. They're trying to do more and more and more to squeeze out any type of time that you have to tend to your soul. You know, and we can kind of see this when it comes to the job market and stuff like that. Back in the day, you know, back in the 90s, you know, back in the day, probably the 80s, the 90s, you know, getting a 9-to-5 wasn't that hard. You know, it wasn't so hard to get a job, to get a 9-to-5. And depending on the type of 9-to-5 that you got, you know, you will be able to use that 9-to-5 to raise your family. You know, you'll be able to use that 9-to-5 to pay your house note, your rent, you know, your bills, and still have money left over to spend time and do the things that you want to do to replenish your soul. Then it got to a time, you know, in the mid 2000s, it got to a time to where you got your 9-to-5, but you also want to have something on the side that you're doing to bring in extra money. So, you know, people would have a 9-to-5, and then they would go mow grass on the weekends, or, you know, they would have some type of side hustle. You know, they would do hair, or they would fix hair, or they would fix on cars, or something that you're skilled at. You know, something that you're skilled at. You might not have necessarily went to school for it. You know, it's just a talent. It's just a talent that you have. And hold on, because people telling me about the link. Okay. So yeah, so you know, you had that. Then it got to a situation to where the job market started to get more and more saturated. And so when things started to get more and more saturated, now it's a situation to where you know, you're running into people that have more side jobs and more side hustles than an actual 9 to 5. Because now the rule of the day is multiple streams of income. What's up, Miss G? What's poppin'? What's poppin'? But yeah, so it gets to the point to where it's multiple streams of income. That's the rule of the day. Multiple streams of income, entrepreneurship, stuff like that. Now it's to the point where that's starting to get oversaturated. You got people out here giving out loopholes, giving out different information that wasn't supposed to be released to the public about a lot of this stuff. So now it's getting to the point where if you want to start your own business, it's going to be a lot harder. It's going to be a lot harder. They're trying to make it a lot harder for you to separate your straw man from your business, because a lot of people would do this little maneuver to gain credit. And that's a whole nother conversation, so it got to the point to where now you got people in situations and places that they wouldn't normally be able to afford, but since they got these quote unquote multiple streams of income, now you're able to step into places that that you normally wouldn't be able to go. People messing over the PPP loans and like all kind of stuff, all kind of stuff. Multiple streams of income. There was a point in time, when Uber first came out. I was working a 9 to 5. I had a homeboy, and he was doing Uber, and it wasn't nothing for him to make like $200 per day. Because it was that popping. It was that popping back in the day to Uber. And I started to feel bad because I'm like, dang, like, he'll Uber from like 12 to 5 or something like that, make him a quick $200. And now, he's done. Now he's done for the day. And that's what made that type of working a lot more attractive. Then you had the remote work, the jobs, the situations to where it's still work, but you set your own schedule. You have a lot more freedom when it comes to your time. You can set your own schedules. You can set your own time when it comes to when do you want to work, when you want to get off, all of that. So it was about optimization, and that's what I'm about, optimizing my time, so a lot has changed, and like I said, these powers that be, they're losing control over the masses, because the masses they got too much information when it comes to how to make money, different things that used to be gate kept. And now since money is digital, there's all these different other type of threats that they got to worry about. So now the key is now we can't necessarily funnel you into the 9 to 5, or we can't necessarily funnel you into that or whatever. But what we can do is the things that are necessity, like a house, like an apartment, like a car, other different things that are necessity. Now, since these things go through the banks and all of this other stuff, we can choose. So this is where the illusion of choice has now been compromised, because or this is the reason why we're seeing now that that these options is really an illusion of choice. And the reason why is because now it's to the point to where you can make all of this money doing your side hustles. You can make all of this money, but that doesn't mean that you're going to get approved for the stuff that this that this government provides. So that's what a lot of people are going through now. This is what's up, Stray Panther. What's good with you? Showstopper. Oh yes, the new world has begun. Shit, most def. Yeah, it has begun to shift. Yeah, definitely. And that's what I'm talking about. So now we're in a situation now to where it doesn't matter on paper how much money you make. If their banks, if their banks, the things that they control, if their banks don't approve the side hustles or the other ways that you make money, if they don't want to approve those type of things, then now you're locked out, because you're not approved. It's about approval now. If you're not approved, then you're locked out. So, and I've been through that. I've been through situations to where I'm trying to go to a car lot and get a car, trying to get a used car, on paper, with all of these different side hustles and all these different apps, that I use to make money. I make well enough, I made well enough to get me a house, to get me a car. If everything was fair down the book, it's supposed to be a democracy. Things are supposed to be fair. That's what got you. That's what trapped you in the matrix, thinking that things were going to be fair and that you'll be able to jump in and jump out. And then you got here, and then now you found out that it's not as fair as they said that it was going to be. So now, like I said, now it's a situation to where even though it says that I make well enough, well enough to be approved, since the banks didn't want to accept the freedom of time jobs that I had, all the different jobs that wasn't a 9-to-5, all the different jobs that I was able to set my own schedule, like all of those, the grand scheme of things, the government, the one that controls if you get approved or not, these banks and stuff like that, they look at your sovereignty as a risk. Your sovereignty is looked at as a risk. They look at those things as a risk. Because, there's no commitment. There's no commitment to your soul being subjected to a prison-like situation where you're constantly feeling used, you're constantly being neglected, all that type of stuff. You're constantly being, you got to spend the energy from your soul doing all of these things that's contrary to why you decided to come here, just so you can keep the matrix going. But on the flip side, if you die while doing this, it is a automatic reincarnation, because there's a reason why you decided to come down here. And if you don't fulfill that, if you don't figure out what that is and fulfill that, you gotta keep coming back until you fulfill that. Let me see what y'all saying in the chat. That's facts. There's no way out of playing fair. Yeah, definitely. So getting back to this title, and getting back to this picture where it says choose your character, so I've had this analogy that I've been doing, and this analogy, it has to do with this game, how life is a game, and I've had these different analogies. So now we are in Cancer. Half of the day was Gemini, the other half was Cancer. So we're officially in Cancer season. So what does that mean for the Soul family right now? So remember I was talking about the new game, and I was talking about the new OS and all that type of stuff. So now in this analogy, depending on the decisions that you made, right now we're all at the home screen. That's what, Cancer represents, the home and things like that. So we're at the home screen, and depending on the character that you chose in Gemini season, that depends on what home screen that you see during this Cancer season, because we're all on the home screen. It's still a shift. So there's still some changes that you could possibly make, even though you may feel effed up that you spent what you did or whatever. But right now, depending on the decisions that you made, depends on the home screen. Now the two characters that you see right here, because the third character is a part of the bottom, but it's hidden. So you got the character at the top. So the character at the top, that talks about the person who bought the console. The person who bought the console. Life is a game. There's different platforms that you can play this game on, and everybody's playing the game in a different way. So that's the thing that y'all gotta realize about that. So the first character that you see is the person who wants to console with the machines. They want to console with the machine. They bought their game. They bought their game on a console to play. And the reason why is because for the longest time, that was always the most feasible way to play the game, on a console. That is, or for a long time, consoling in the matrix, consoling in the machine. You get your consolation, or you get your consoling from the machine. Now there's a lot of things that come with this. Follow me on this analogy. There's a lot of things that comes with this. You're at the mercy of that console. When you bought that console, you probably spent a lot of money, and you bought this console that you're playing this game on. And when things first started, because I got to take it back. So in the beginning, when this started, it was cool, because you got the whole game. You got the whole game. When I was coming up, online was an afterthought. You didn't start hearing about online until the PS2, really the PS3, because with the PS2, you could go online with it, but you had to buy an extra attachment to go online. And most people, back in those days, you had something called a multi-tap, and you had friends, you had local friends and stuff like that. So you didn't really care about online like that, because local multiplayer was good enough. That was good enough. You was able to play. What's up, Sister Dozier? What's up, y'all? Make sure y'all see the pinned comment at the top if you would like a live reading. So definitely check out the pinned comment at the top. Even if you just want to donate, because we all going through it out here. So about this console, because this is how a lot of us have been programmed to play the game. By the way, that's why I'm going through this analogy, because I feel like this is the best way to describe it. So, so the console, you know, local multiplayer. Local multiplayer was built into the game. You know, it was cool because we always had friends. You know, the computer was extremely primitive back in the early console days, even during the PS2 days. You know, and the Xbox days. You know, that's when online first started to get introduced, but it wasn't, you know, something that companies put a lot of stock into. You know, so you know, you got the whole game, all of that, you know, everything was cool. Then you got to the PS2, the Xbox era, you know. Now, during this time, the PC games were ass, you know. If you were a PC gamer back then, you were a part of a small group of kids, you know, because you was probably somewhere playing World of Warcraft or SOCOM, or you was playing some type of PC game that not everybody played. You know, you was one of those people, because all of the console type games, the PC ports were ass. You know, they were not good at all. And you know, PC was like an afterthought. You know, you only you know, there were games that you played on the PC, but it wasn't those type of games. It wasn't those type of games. At least not yet. You know, not yet. Not yet. So once the PS3 came out, you know, the PS3, the Xbox 360, you know, once those consoles came out, now you got stuff called DLC. And when DLC first came out, it was dope. You know, this is, you know, extra content added to the game to make the game make the replay value even more dope. You know, because now, you know, you got more content, and the DLC was free back in those times. You know, the online, there was one point in time where it was free to go online. You know, now when the PS3 came out, they started with the subscriptions. You know, Xbox 360 had Xbox Live. You know, PlayStation had their online thing, and this is where the subscriptions start to happen. You know, but the subscriptions was cheap though. You know, subscriptions happened, but the subscriptions were very cheap. Let me see. Okay, Showstopper. You know, you're gonna be my first reading. You're gonna be my first live reading tonight. So shout out to Showstopper. You know, anybody else want to get a live reading? You know what to do. So, you know, the subscriptions were a lot cheaper. You know, it was real cheap. You know, and there was a lot of perks about doing it, because, you know, these consoles, they wanted to get you more and more used to being online. So now we're at the point where we're at now, to where you got so now, you know, everybody's kind of on console. You know, PC is still an afterthought. You know, they're climbing up. You know, but when it comes to the console side of things, you know, these consoles start to feel like they have a monopoly on the players. Because where else you gonna go but to another console? You know, to another machine. Where else you gonna go? You gonna leave one machine and go to another machine, and go to another machine. You know, now it gets to the point where you buy the game. The game is extremely expensive. You know, back in the day, you know, a normal PS2 game would be $49.99 when it first come out, and then after like a week, it'll go down to $39.99. These games now are like $70. You know, and some of them are even more than that. Some of these games are like $80, $90, even $100. All right, Sister Dozier, you're gonna be the second. You're gonna be the second reading. So we got Showstopper for the first reading, and then we got Sister Dozier for the second reading. You know, All right. So appreciate y'all. So yeah, so you know, there's a commitment when it comes to that console. You know, I can't play Xbox games on a PS2. I can't play Nintendo games on a Sega Dreamcast or whatever. You know, y'all get where I'm going with that. So if you really, you know, got this loyalty to this machine, you know, you're just gonna deal with everything that comes with it. You know, they done away with memory cards. So now everything is online. It's getting to the point where when it comes to console, everything is online. You know, that's another bill. Like, you have to be online for a lot of these games for your progress, for your save progress is getting to the point where now even that's online, you know, connected to your online account and stuff like that. You get the game, it ain't even a full game. You know, you still gotta wait for the game to update, and that patch can be, you know, so big that it cover damn near the whole hard drive that your system came with or whatever. So now there's a limit to the games that you can have. You know, there's a limit to how many games that you can play and that you can have, because, you know, everything is online. The memory isn't detachable, all that type of stuff. It's like what you see is what you get, and you better be happy with whatever you get. Now what I'm hearing is a lot of these online platforms, you know, they're taking away features. So a lot of the features that you could, you know, bank on, a lot of the features that you thought that you could bank on, you can't even bank on those features no more. These companies are going back on their word. But since you're so loyal, and since you didn't put in so much money and so much time into this machine, it's going to be hard for you to unplug from it because of all of this that you put into it. You know? Yeah, keep gaslighting my son about buying him a PS5. Keep moving the goalpost every time. Have you heard about what's going on with the PS5? Have you heard that the PlayStation, they took away certain services from their subscription that made you want to buy it? You know, see, that's another thing. You know, Xbox, they had Game Pass to where, you know, yeah, it's a $14 subscription for the Ultimate, but, you know, I can play Xbox 360, Xbox One. Not only can I play all of those games, I can also play them on my phone. I can play them on my laptop. I don't need to have a console in order to play Game Pass, unlike PlayStation. And I heard PlayStation took away the PlayStation Stars part, you know, that help you to, you know, you progress in the game, and you get points, and you can use those points to get a gift card, and you can use those gift cards for a discount on your subscription. You know, certain things they're taking away from people who have a console. You know, so for the people who got the console, which are most people, that's how they look. You know, the person that you see at the top, the money is the chains. They're blind. They're on their knees. They're begging. You know, that's the people that are that are looking for this machine to console you. That's how you're looking right now. You know. Now let's go to the next character. So this other character that you see at the bottom, that's anonymous. You know. So let's talk about that for a second. The PC, the PC side. Now, when I say the PC side in this analogy, I'm talking about everything that's not politically correct. You know, everything that's not necessarily politically correct. You know. So let's switch over. Let's switch over and let's talk about the PC side for a second. So people on the PC. Wait, before I do that, so for the people with the console, Um, you go to when you go to your home screen, if this is you and you're looking at your home screen, you're very anxious, and this is how you know which one of these characters you are. When you look into this life and you're very anxious because you don't know what's the next thing that's going to be taken away from you. You don't know when when you're going to get fired. You don't know when you're going to get laid off. You don't know when when your hours are about to get cut. You don't know if a advancement in your particular career field, advancement with AI, is going to lead to your particular position getting taken away. You're always on edge, all that type of stuff. If this is you right now, then that means that you're someone who's trying to console, who's trying to get the machine who don't have feelings to console you and console you and give you this feeling that everything is going to be all right. A lot of people are going through it mentally because they're going insane right now, because this machine, they're trying to get this machine that don't have feelings to console them. And every time things don't work out, because it's only business, it's not personal, now they're going through it. Now, if you're a PC, if you're someone who's a PC player, your home screen is gonna look a little bit different than the console. So let's talk about the PC. So PC, it took a while for PC to get, even though a lot of people who are computer nerds and stuff like that, even though we always knew that we were gonna be the top people in the future, because everybody was so stuck on the console, the machine, the console machine, since everybody was stuck on that, the computer nerds, they always got ridiculed, they always got bullied and stuff like that, because everybody else want to be an athlete and you want to learn code. Everybody else want to be everybody else want to do what this matrix has programmed them to want to be interested in, and you want to be interested in STEM: science, technology, math, engineering. Wait, what is it? Science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. That's STEM. That's the STEM program. So while everybody else is trying to be do other stuff, you're interested in STEM because you're seeing that this is going to be the way of the future. And with that being said, you were one of the people that waited it out. You waited out. Things started to get better and better and better and better. Because remember, like I said, the console ports, the PC ports of these console games are asked for a reason, because they don't want everybody going over to the PC side. They don't want everybody going to their side. So they purposely would make these games bad so that you can stay on the console side. So it got to the point where, the people that are on this PC side, since their games wasn't as good as the console counterparts, these PC people, they learned how to kind of be developers as well. They learned how to code and different things like that. So now, these PC people, they're able to make modifications to their game. They're able to make modifications, graphical modifications to the game, to the point where in the times that we're in now, it don't matter what comes out on console. The PC version is always going to graphically look better. And not only that, since there's so many advanced people and that's all they do when it comes to modification and stuff like that, when it comes to updates on the mechanics of the game and the playability. The updates are always going to come out faster on the PC side than on the console side, you know. Now, the difference is, you know, the pros and the cons on the PC side, especially if you were somebody who was very serious about that, you know, you had to put in a lot of work. What's up, Satchel? What's poppin', Satchel Rose? What's good with you? So what I'm talking about these two characters that you got to choose from now, you know. So the analogy, the character at the top is the person with the console, the person who consoles, who's looking for the machine to console them, you know. Now, when it comes to the PC side, you know, these are like the independent contractors. These are the independent contractors who have to put in a lot more work starting out. You know, they got to put in a lot more work starting out. When you got a PC and you're serious about doing that, about being a PC type of person, you know, you're going to build your PC from scratch. That takes knowledge. You know, that takes knowledge to know how to build a PC from scratch. You know, it takes knowledge to know about the motherboard, you know, to know about the processor that you need. It takes knowledge to know about the RAM, to know about the memory, to know about the graphics card, and all of these things. Water cooling, you know, the different ways to cool your machine. How much power does it need? You know, see, when you're on the PC side, you almost become your own developer of the Matrix. You know, there was a video that I seen, and it talked about people who practice on the dark side. You know, it's almost like, you know, you have some of the powers that God had to create this world. And, you know, there's responsibilities when it comes to that. You know, there's a lot that comes with that. But on the dark side, this is where you bend reality to your will. You know, you can bend, you can modify, you can hack, you can do things in your reality to bend it at your will, so you can live the way you want to live, you know, in this world that we all got to complete our missions in. So, you know, with the PC, with the people who have the PC, you know, when you reach your home screen, it's a sigh of relief, because, you know, it's showing you that all the work that you put in, you know, you updated your system, you updated your RAM, your memory, your graphics card, you updated everything so it looks beautiful. So when you get to the home screen, you know, it's a sigh of relief. You know, like, yes, everything works. Yes, I got it to work. Yes, you know. Now, you know, you may have had to upgrade your storage, because these games now are huge. You probably had to upgrade your memory, like all of this different type of stuff. Unlike, you know, the console, the machine does everything for you. With the console, the machine does everything for you, which is good and bad. It's bad because I can't upgrade the graphics card in my PS2 so I can play PS3 games. You know, that's not even something that you can even do. You know, so again, you know, when you got the console, you're at the mercy of that console. So when it's time for you to upgrade, it's nothing that you can do. You know, you gotta upgrade, you know, if you want to play the newest games. With PC, for those who have the graphics cards that came out in 2020 or 2019, you can still get away with playing a lot of these AAA games. You know, even if you got a 3-year-old PC, a 4-year-old PC, a 5, sometimes even if you got like a 5-year-old PC, but the way you built it, like you built it really, really good. So, you know, maybe you might have to change out one thing or whatever. The longevity. So yeah, because you're not doing things through the machine. This is someone who's an independent contractor, someone who's a entrepreneur, stuff like that. So a lot of the things that the 9 to 5 just does for you automatically, being on the PC side, being on the 1099 side, being the independent contractor side hustler side, being on that side, you got to do a lot of things yourself. You have to do a lot of things yourself. That was a ease of use to the people on the console side. And for the people that are on the console side, they may look at you as stupid because you're on that side, because it's like, you're doing that, you're doing all of this stuff for no reason. Because when it comes to the people who are the business owners and the entrepreneurs and stuff like that, it takes a while before they really start bringing in money. And during those times, you really have to be headstrong. You really got to be mentally headstrong, because it's easy for you to give up within the first, it's easy for you to give up within the first few shutdowns. You got this stuff together, you cut the game on, or you cut the, on your PC, and the error comes up. If this is the side that you're really on, if this is the side that you're on, setbacks don't stop you. You don't give up. Setbacks don't stop you. So you're used to it. People that are on the independent contractor side, people that are on the business owner side, they understand a lot more about not giving up. They understand a lot more about the work, the different knowledge, different work that you got to put in. Also, on the PC side, you have options that the console people don't have. PC, the games are all, now the PC games are always going to look more beautiful, because there's options for you to get graphical mods. On the console, you got to wait for the console, and sometimes they may or may not even upgrade anything on it. A lot of these, and there's this study that was shown where a lot of these consoles, no game has came out on these consoles that's really pushed the graphics, the processor, the memory to its limit. So that's another thing. Unlike when it comes to PC, you're encouraged to go to the limit and beyond the limit, because there's something called overclocking. That you can do with your PC. So, I can have an older PC and I can overclock it, and I can still play some of the newer games. It's not something that is a something that you should do all the time, but it's an option. Again, it's an option. When you're on the PC side, you have different options, and there's a hidden path when it comes to the PC side. There's a hidden path, and I want to talk about that for a second, because the hidden path is inside of the PC side. Again, when you finally, it may take you a while, but when you finally get things popping with your business, you finally get things popping on the 1099 side and stuff like that, things open up for you to where you're starting to attract different levels of thought, because you're having more free time. Once you get things to work in the exact way that it's supposed to work, now you have this free time to go into other forms of thought and really and truly learn about what this matrix is. And on the hidden side, on the hidden path, these are the people that are the hackers, that are the modders, of that. And they're anonymous. You know, the reason why they're anonymous because, you know, they have to be, because they know too much. This is something that me and Satra was talking about. Do you know that you can get kicked out of a casino because you're winning too much? Do you know that you can get kicked out of a carnival because you're winning too many of the games, you're winning too many of the prizes and stuff like that? You know, so what makes you think that if you're a hacker and I created this game for all these microtransactions and all of this stuff, and then you hack my game to the point where now everything that I was trying to get people to pay for is now free? You know, you don't think you don't think that as a creator of the game, I'm gonna be trying to look for you, I'm gonna be trying to figure out who you are and stuff like that. So these are the type of risks, you know, these are the type of things that you know, people on the hidden path of the PC side, the hidden path of that side is what is making the PC a #1 contender for gaming. You know, it's because of the hackers and the modders. You know, the hackers and the modders that understand the matrix so much, that understand this reality so much, that they know how to change the code. Because I talked about that. If you can learn the code of the matrix, it's all rigged. I'm telling you, if you can learn the code of the matrix, you'll be able to bend things in your reality at your will. You can make things appear out of thin air. The best magicians are the ones that can make shit appear out of midair. You know, and it's so magical because the way the how you do it is so secretive. You know, because when it comes to some of this stuff, it can be so destructive if in the wrong hands, that you know, in order for you to learn a lot of this stuff, you too have to be a modder. You know, you too have to be a hacker. You know, so you know, these are the two characters. So for the people on the PC side, you know, now the trained men. Now remember in my Matrix live stream when I talked about the trained men, you know, these are the people who are the modders and the hackers. You know, the well-trained men. You know, that's who Anonymous represent. And you know, these type of people, they go through the most risks, but they have the highest reward. They go through the most risks because think about it. You know, so you got this game, these money hungry console developers and these money hungry developers, they're trying to, I see you're reading. Oh snap. What's up? What's poppin', Esoteric Esther? We got Esoteric Esther in the building. What's poppin'? So, you know, like I was saying, so it's a lot more risk because, you know, you have these greedy, money hungry corporate console developers and stuff like that. You know, got these games so high, you know, they purposely put bugs in the game so that you gotta get these purchases and all of that. And a lot of times, all the modder and the hacker does is make things that's unfair and make them fair again. You know, that's all. A lot of these hacks, a lot of these mods, is to rebalance the game and to make things fun and to make things fair. You know, now, you know, I'm not talking about the cheating. I'm not talking about the cheating aspect, you know, because that's another part in it. But that, you know, that's not going to be around for too much longer, you know, unless we got some more knowledgeable people that know how to break into that. But when it comes to you know, the PC, you know, the hidden path of the PC side, these are the people who have to be extremely low profile. because of what they're doing and what they've done. You know, these are the people who get a bad rap, but the quote unquote bad things that they done was to help people. You know, they might have did something bad. It's only bad to the government, but if the people knew what they actually did, they'll be thanking that person. You know, that's the other side of it. So you got these greedy, you know, console creators, you know, making this, and so you got the train man cracking the programs. You know, you got the hidden path. You know, literally their job is to crack the program. You know, and to make it free, to crack the program and to make it free. Now the issue is, the thing about it is, the risk is extremely high. You know, which means that on this side, you got to be you have to be more protected than everybody else. You know, you got to have a virtual private network. I talked about that. You know, there's a certain browser that you have to go on in order to get the game or whatever it is, to get the program or whatever. So when you reach your home screen, if this is you, if you reach your home screen, you know, you got, you know, you're happy because, you know, the same thing that the PC people are happy about. But when it comes to you, you have to be cut off from everybody else. You know, if this is you, if you're looked at as a hacker or a modder, you know, if you're someone who likes to give people information on how to transcend this matrix and create your own world and all that type of stuff in this new game, you know, you're public enemy number one. You know, and so there's a lot of risks when it comes to that. You know, you can get a virus on your computer, and all these different risks that comes with the modder and the hacker. It only affect him. Now, if this modder or this hacker is on some evil shit and create something that's a virus, that puts a virus on your computer, there's nothing that you can do when it comes to the government, or there's nothing that you can really do to help your situation. You know, you just got duped. There's nothing you can do. That's why it's such a risk. But the reward is, you know, everybody else has some type of monetary connection to the game that's going to make them hard to get out of it. But you, as the modder and the hacker, you know, essentially you got the game for free. You know, now the one thing that they've had us hooked on, which is online, that's the only thing that you can't do. You know, you're not online. So, you know, if you're the type of person, you know, you just want to play the game to just kind of see how the game is, you know, the modders and the hackers, they're the one that can actually see the injustice that's going on in a micro level. From a micro level, they can see the injustice that's going on. You know, you're in the game and you're in the coding and you're like, dang. So for the people who bought the game, y'all finna get messed up when y'all get to this stage, because this and this and this, and y'all gonna get messed. Y'all gonna be, you know. So the modders and the hackers, they're more sympathetic to the common man. They're more sympathetic to the common man because they can see on the highest level how you've been manipulated, how you've been duped, you know, how you've been tricked into spending all of this money on a half-ass matrix, on a half-ass game that's rigged for you to lose. You know, it's rigged for you to lose, literally. You know, shout out to Sacha Rose, like, it's rigged for you to lose. You know, and the sad part about it is, on this particular side, you trying to be a hero, and trying to take it upon yourself to fix certain things or whatever, that'll put you at risk. That'll put you at risk of being found out. There was this, and y'all can look this up. There was this college student, you know, he was a hacker. He was a modder, and there was some type of cyber attack that happened where all the hospitals and all the machinery in the hospitals ended up going out, you know. So there was a lot of people at risk of dying. You know, there was a lot of people at risk of losing their lives, losing their family, losing their babies, all that kind of stuff, because these machines were being hijacked by this anonymous company, these anonymous hackers. And they was like, if you don't give us this many $1 billion or whatever, we're gonna make it to where your machines don't work, and everybody in these hospitals are gonna die. So there was this college student, you know, he's a successful hacker and a successful modder. You know, he saw what was going on in the world, and he wanted to do something about it. Now, him doing something about it, he became a martyr and a sacrifice, because yes, he was able to reverse engineer the hack. So he was able to save all of those thousands of people that would have died, all of those thousands of people that wouldn't have got treatment, all of those babies, you know, that would have died because the incubator cut off, and all of this stuff. Did you know that he ended up going to jail after he did all of that? He went to jail because him doing that, you know, now the government who couldn't do it themselves, now they're interested in him. Like, who is this cat? Why does he know this knowledge? Why does he know this information or whatever? And they looked into his life and all that stuff, and they found that he was a part of this hacker group that was hacking different things and stuff like that. And you know, he got found out, so he ended up getting locked up for being a hero. You know, being a hacker and being a modder, it puts you in a whole different mindset when it comes to this game, when it comes to this matrix. You know, it almost makes it to where you know, you don't look at the game as fun, because you can see behind the veil. You know, you can see that that this game ain't right. You know, it was programmed to not be right. You know, that's what you find out. You know, and so a lot of us, like I said, a lot of us are at the home screen right now. A lot of us are finding out the hard way about this reality, you know. But we all have a choice. We all have a choice, and we all have a decision. You know, staying in the middle in this new matrix, in this new game, it's almost like being a hybrid. It's almost like being a hybrid, you know, to where certain things you do on one side, you know, some things you do on the console side, some things you do on the PC side. You know, you got to have good relationships in the streets, so you can make sure that you have credit in the streets. What is credit in the streets? Credit in the streets is you having people in high financial places in the streets that, you know, you've already had situations where you borrowed money from them and you paid them back, and you got this credit in the streets to where if it's something that you need, like a down payment on a car or a down payment on a house or something like that, and you know that if you go through the government, they're going to give you all of this, you know, all of this issues and stuff. But you got credit in the streets, you know, so you got somebody that can front you the money because they know you're going to be able to pay it back. They know that you're going to pay it back because you got that credit. You know, that's what I mean when I say being a hybrid, you know, because in this day and time, I feel like there's a consensus. There's a census that's going on, you know, to where these powers that be, they're trying to figure out who all is still in the matrix, who's all still here, you know, who's all still here. They're trying to do different things to track you, so they can figure out, like, okay, who we all got left, you know, who's all here, you know, whatever, you know. So yeah, you know, being able to stay in the middle in this time is going to be, you know, you being able to optimize your time. You know, another thing. So what is introduced now to these games um, that messes things up are the servers. You know, now the servers, that's dealing with online, but you know, servers, you know, people who serve the machine, the people, places, and things and situations who serve the machine. You know, that's who the servers are. And when it comes to these servers, there are no respecters of person, you know, and they're programmed to serve the machine. So if you're a console, and see crossplay is something that just started, and it's real. From what I've seen, crossplay is still buggy. You know, it's still buggy because there's two different versions of servers that now has to communicate with each other. You know, because all of these consoles have different servers. You know, online, you know, when you're online, there's different servers. When you go to a restaurant, there's different servers. There's different servers that prepare your food, that handle your food. I don't want to go too deep into the tech talk. I don't want to go too deep into the tech talk, but y'all, you know, I'm trying to keep it surface so you can understand. So, console. So when it comes to the console, you know, even when it comes to the servers, you're at the mercy of the console provider or whatever. But the console should have the best servers. You know, that's how I feel. Then you got the PC side. You know, for a long time, you know, you got the best game, you got the most beautiful game, you got the most well optimized game, and all of that. But your server is only going to link you up with other PC players. You know, that's how it was for a long time. And then when it comes to the middle path, for the most part, in order for number one, in order for you to have that game for free, two, in order for you to have the game for free with all the DLCs and all of that stuff on it, you can't be online. Because if you was online and you try to connect to the game, and the servers see that you're dining and dashing, you know, the servers see that you're eating and you're not paying for what you ate. You know, you're playing this game, but you didn't pay for it. You didn't pay for the DLC. You didn't pay for the game, and you trying to play online against other people who pay for the game. You get banned. And it's so bad on the console side. Your console is called bricked. Your console can get bricked to the point where it's a paperweight now. Like, you can't even play none of your games. You know, your save progress is connected to that account, all of that. So you try to do that on the console, you know, it's bye-bye. When it comes to that, you'll most likely never be able to play online with a cracked game. And if you could play online, you'll just be playing online with other people who got cracked games. You know, and it's not really fun. You know, it's not really fun. So like I said, you know, for the people that are on the middle path. So let me explain this, and then I'm gonna do the live readings. So these are the three paths. These are the three paths that you have to decide which of these characters that you're gonna be. If you're gonna be the character at the top, you know, this is you just accepting whatever it is that's gonna happen with this with the matrix that is now crumbled. Now the servers are what's running the matrix. The servers are the people that used to be the managers that were over the servers. They got it's other stuff that's going on with that. The matrix as we know it, like everything that we been programmed that this matrix was about, the servers are the one that's running that. The people who served those higher ups. You know, the higher ups as we know it, they're not the higher ups no more. I already talked about that. But the servers of those higher ups are the ones that still got this illusion up that they're running things. You know, because everybody's online. Everybody wants to be online. That's the only reason why the servers got power, because everybody wants to be online. You know, online has replaced friendships. Online has replaced relationships. You know, online has replaced everything social that we can think of. Instead of going over people's houses and playing games with them locally, now it's to the point a lot of these games don't even have local multiplayer no more. You gotta play online. You know, so like I said, you know, if you're a hacker, you're a modder, you understand that the game is rigged. So you hack your own game, you mod your own game, so that you can get what you need to get out of your game. You know, you may not be able to go online with it because the servers, the people who serve the machine, they're not going to let you go online with your game that's fair, with your game that's 100% fair. You know, you didn't have to pay for the VC. You didn't have to pay for the bucks, the whatever kind of bucks it is, you know, because you was able to play the game the way it was supposed to be played. You know, it's one of them type of things to where, as a modder, as a hacker, if that's the type of person that you are, you know, this is what sets you up to be a spiritual teacher. You know, because you understand the ins and outs of this world. You know, you've played through it, you speed ran through it, you've played through it, you've hacked it, you know, you've modified it, and it's a peer-to-peer. When you're, you know, I don't want to talk too much about this, but in these browsers, these certain browsers that you use to get these type of games or to get these type of programs, is called peer-to-peer. You know, it's peer-to-peer. And these type of secrets about how to really hack into this matrix, this world, this reality, and live life the way you really want to live, the way you wasn't taught how to live it. These money can't buy these type of secrets. You know, you actually have to be a certain type of person in a certain type of society to even for these type of thoughts, or for those type of ideas or whatever to even get to you. You got to be awakened to a certain level, you know, and start you know, outwardly trying to find other people that's on that level, and you know, and you start to attract those to you. Now the thing about it is, with these secret societies though, they know that the information that they have is valuable, and when it comes to the initiation to these certain societies that teach you how to manipulate your reality, you know, these type of societies, their initiation practices and the different things that they do in that society, it's not going to be anything politically correct. It's not going to be anything that you're going to be able to understand. If you're on the console side, if you're in this world, you may look at it as evil, or you may look at it as whatever. But at the end of the day, that's how it is. It is what it is. Even in my business, you know, I'm not an artist in the music industry just yet. Like, I'm not none of that. But even in show production, there's a secret society. There's a secret society that works in show production, and you know, they work amongst us. You know, just like the architect in the Matrix, they work amongst us, because in this time, you know, just for a second, you know, in this time, things are getting slow in show production. Things are getting slow. For the next couple months, things are going to be slow for the average person. On the console side, you got some show production companies that are W2, and they offer 40-hour weeks and different things like that, but the pay is extremely low. And with the work that you're going to be doing is you're gonna waste, a lot of your energy is going to be squeezed out of you, because you're doing a lot of work. The pay is going to be smaller pay, because these companies know that you're desperate. They know that you need them, so you're not going to be the one to negotiate your pay, because it's like, yo, it's low for everybody else. You should be just happy that you're getting work right now. That's how these companies see you. And so, if you don't want to be a part of the corporate side, the corporate structure side, what's up, Beauty Dark Side? So if you don't want to be on the corporate structure side, you got the secret society side, and they a whole different ball game. Now, one thing I can say, the secret society show production, I'm not gonna say their name. I'm cool with some of them. I got nothing against them. They work their ass off. The secret society people, they're the first ones loading, or they're the first ones that's doing all the dirty work, all the hard work that nobody else wants to do. They're the first ones in the truck. They're the first ones pushing. They're the first ones, so they got a real high reputation. If you're a part of that secret society, while everybody else is trying to figure it out, you're gonna be working. You're gonna be working. Now, in order to get in, it may be some crazy stuff. Maybe some stuff that but you always got a choice. It's a reason why I be struggling trying to find work and stuff. But I'm cool with them. I'm cool with some of them. Like, some of them are cool, but what makes them to function at such a high level in this dangerous industry isn't something that everybody else needs to function. Some people in that society, they may be on the LGBT side, and that's what gets them going. So if it's somebody on that side and they're in a place of power, they feel like they got power, information that you need or whatever, they be like, look, you can do this for me, you can do this to me or whatever, I'll keep you working. And they'll just be straight up with it. You can keep me high, or you can do this, you can do that. I'll keep you working. I'll put in a good word for you. I'll keep you working. You'll be straight. But you have a choice to make. Then you got the other side. People who were proactive in the times where things were good, because we're in cancer season. So cancer season is all about being proactive. So if you were proactive when things were good, then you done built certain relationships with different types of people, to where the secret society, it don't have to be an option, because you built other relationships. You got other people that can look out for you and stuff like that. So now the game has changed, and now you have to select the character. You got to select the character that you're going to be. You got to figure that out. You got to understand, like, who are you going to be? Are you going to be your own person? Are you going to be someone who is a part of a label? Or are you going to be someone who's a part of the corporate structure and you don't have your own soul? You don't got your own creative control or any of that. Everybody's talking about the Kendrick Lamar performance that he did at the performance that he did. And people are talking about, well, Kendrick Lamar, he did this one day, But Drake did this same, he gets this same turnout in all the shows that he's done in his tour or whatever. The biggest thing about that, Kendrick is independent. So I bet he's taking home a lot more money, than Drake is taking home for the night. But since he's independent, he's probably had to put in a whole lot more work to get that event than what Drake had to. And it also it also helps that Kendrick was once in the industry. So that's another conversation. So even though the Matrix is gonna make you believe that their side is the best side because it's more ease of use, them hidden fees is what's gonna get you. The hidden fees, all of that, all the hidden things, the hidden issues, the hidden fees, things being taken from you, things being swept away from under your feet, stuff that you thought was guaranteed is no longer guaranteed. When those things happen on the console side or on the you in the Matrix, when it comes to that side, when it comes to that, it's gonna hurt you a lot more because you really fell for the commitment. You really fell for their democracy. You really fell for that. You're a lot more awakened on the PC side. But if you want to dig deeper and be on the hacker side, be on the hidden path side, or if you're on the PC side, and you've built relationships with those type of things, it's one of those type of things to where you can't be, all out there with who you are. You got to keep a low profile. You got to watch what you say. You got to watch the information that you can just talk about with your colleagues that are hackers and modders. You can't talk about that information outwardly. You can't talk about that online. Because the powers that be rule the platform that you're talking on. The platform that I'm talking on. I don't run YouTube. I don't run any of these programs or any of this stuff that I got. I'm just using it. So what these live readings are going to be about. So let me go to the natal chart. Let's go to the natal chart. It is, where is it? Astro. Okay. So this is the natal chart that we're going to be talking about. So let me pull this up. Because we got to figure out, what character are you? Okay. All right. So we got the natal chart right here. Sun is in Cancer in the 4th house. Your home screen. What type of home screen are you looking at? Do you feel at home with yourself? Moon in Sagittarius. Do you feel transformed when it comes to your status? Do you feel transformed when it comes to your status? Do you feel fulfilled? Let's see. Where's what's in the 9th house? Yeah. Are you transformed? Have these experiences that you went through, have these experiences transformed you in any kind of way to where you are the phoenix out of your own ashes? You're not the same person that you was in Gemini season. And let's see where the baby Eshu is at. So the baby Eshu is somewhere with Obanani. You know, even the baby Eshu is clicked up right now. You know, and Libra is in the 8th house. So what does that mean? Nobody's perfect, baby, but you perfect for me. You know, a lot of these different relationships, a lot of these different connections that you got to make, because you may be a hacker, or you may be on the PC side, console side, that's being manipulated left and right, that's being told what they can and can't do left and right, and all of that. You know, you know, it may seem like what you're doing is not perfect for everybody, but it's perfect for you, because your palace, remember what I told you, your palace placement is what puts you in the palace, Palace. So your palace in Scorpio, you being able to transform from your experiences, you know, it makes you a impulsive, nervous, and unstable character. Reversal of fortune brings about a humble and ordinary life. So, you know, this is someone who been there, done that. Like, you've been there, done that on the console side. You know, now it's time for you to transform. Scorpio, 9th house. It's time for you to use these experiences on your path to transform you, so you can have a status to where you're the phoenix that rise from your own ashes. If the natal chart indicates strong willpower, you're able to recover your lost social status through hard work and sometimes through a marriage. Hey, okay. Nobody's perfect, baby, but you perfect for me. You know, that's what that means. Nobody's perfect, but you perfect for me. You know, you gotta be okay feeling embarrassed right now. You know, but because, you know, we're talking about being out of your comfort zone. You know, it can be embarrassing, but at the end of the day, when this right here happens, you know, it's gonna pay off. it pays off in the end. You know, I'm thinking about getting me a van or a bus or something. You know, I always wanted to get me a bus or a van and make an RV out of it. But one thing I know is, you know, building it is going to be the most expensive. The reason why is because, you know, once you get it on the road, you don't want to have it on the road with no half-assed stuff. You know, you want to make sure that you're secure on the road, because you're going to be in different conditions and stuff. Now, what about the Chiron? Chiron is in Aries, so this is talking about you being a wounded healer when it comes to your new identity, when it comes to values. You got a new identity when it comes to values and possessions and all of those type of things. Let me go to the 3rd house in Taurus, because of your mindset. Your mindset. You understanding that I'm not this body. I'm not this body. You having that mindset of I'm not this body, you know, is what gives you a expansion. Jupiter and Gemini, an expansion of thought, an expansion. You understanding that I'm not this body, it gives you an expansion in your mind. So now you're able to, you know, you got a new identity. You got a new passion when it comes to values now. You know, see, the people with the console, it's hard for them to have this type of thought, because they didn't spend so much money on the game. So it's hard for you to delete the game and, you know, like, okay, I'm done with it. I got what I needed out of it. You know, I can delete it up. It's done. No, you know, I'd have spent $70, $80, $90, $100 on this game, and I know if I sell it, I'm not going to get that same value. That's another issue. GameStop. How many of y'all used to go to GameStop? How many of y'all used to go to GameStop and try to sell your games? And then you find out the hard way that the value not the same. The value that you thought that you had, the value that you thought that this game had, it don't have that value. But somebody like me, I played the game for free. I got the most out of the game because I got all the DLC, all the characters, all of that. I can give you a better synopsis of this game than somebody who bought it. Because just because you bought the base game don't mean that, you're going to buy the DLC, or whatever. So the people that's going to be the ones that you need to listen to are also going to be people that the government or that the world says that you don't need to listen to them. You don't need to listen to what they got to say. So that's very important. Because if this is a lie, and you really didn't transform, you really didn't transform, retrograde, you really didn't transform, you trying to get over, and you're trying to take these experiences into this new game that everybody's playing, it's gonna make you look cheerful, weak-willed, and carefree. This is what made you use your palace key and open up the wrong lock. And now you got a childhood wound. Now you got a wound. This is something that you went through when you were younger and you didn't understand how valuable your palace placement was. So now you're cheerful, but you're weak-willed and carefree. One has no ambition other than indulging in meaningless activities. So this is all, you on that game all day. You on the game all day. You're not making no money. You're not doing nothing that you're supposed to be doing. Like, you just sitting around playing the game all day. Now, with that PC, I can do a lot more things with that PC. I can go live and talk to y'all on the PC. I got a few live readings, got a few donations doing that. I can be a graphic designer. I can be a someone who, like Fiverr. I can be like someone who what do y'all call that? A freelancer? I can be a freelancer. There's a lot of things that I can do with this powerful PC that I done put all this money into. It's not too much that you can do with that console. You might can go online on Twitch or something, if you got a following, but your game is gonna look like everybody else. See, this is the hack part of it. Somebody who modded their game and they go online on Twitch and they stream their game, they're gonna have a lot more participation. They may attract a lot more people than you because their game is gonna look different. You might, on the mod, I might can change out. Remember when I was playing Sifu and I changed out the main character to Michael Jackson? So now I'm playing Sifu as Michael Jackson in the Smooth Criminal video. And I got so many views. I got so many views from that video. Because my game looks different than everybody else's game. I made all the enemies look like they was from the bad video. So I literally turned Sifu into Michael Jackson Moonwalker Part 2. So meaningless activities, and one lets other people run the show. This is what I was talking about. If you on a console, that means the government, like, you relinquish your control because of an ease of use. You let other people run the show, probably the spouse or a sibling or a business partner. One does not mind their contempt because one is aware that outside of the family or work circles, one is much appreciated for their talents when it comes to organizing parties and fashionable gatherings. So this is talking about somebody who doesn't understand that they're being manipulated they don't understand that they're being taken advantage of, because whatever it is that they're in, they love doing it. That's like me. I love DJing, but I'm working for this company or whatever, and they're severely underpaying me. So I'm doing all of this work, and I love to do it, but I'm being severely underpaid. You know, um, this degree indicates that one is endowed with intense sensuality, and that attraction to people of the opposite gender is a source of troubles. Again, this is the homosexual. So this is talking about the homosexual. So again, we all have a decision that we have to make of what character that you want to be. Because when you're anonymous, you create your own characters. When you're anonymous, when you're a hacker and a modder, you create your own characters. I got like what, 3 characters? I got Mr.BandClap, got Playboy P. Even my government name has some accolades behind it. So what character are you? What character are you going to be portraying? What character do you need to portray? And what are some things that you can do to get there? That's what this live reading is going to be about. I'm going to play my new remix so I can get everything together. Actually, I'm going to do, no. I'm gonna say that. I'm gonna say that to the end. Well, no, I'm gonna go ahead and do it. Okay, so I'm gonna play this. I'm gonna actually do the countdown. I'm gonna do the countdown, and then I'm gonna play the mix last. So I'm gonna do this countdown so I can get everything set up for the live readings, and I'll be right back.
T-minus 2 minutes. T-minus 1 minute and 50 seconds. T-minus 1 minute and 40 seconds. T-minus 1 minute and 30 seconds. T-minus 1 minute and 20 seconds. T-minus 1 minute and 10 seconds. T-minus 1 minute. T-minus 50 seconds. T-minus 40 seconds. T minus 2 minutes.